part 2, unit 19, movements in animals. In the previous session, we learned about what is the difference between movements and locomotion, different types of movements, joint and different types of joints. Let us see the skeleton system of human being. What is skeleton system? The skeleton system provides the hard structure and framework to the human body, and it gives support and protection to the body. It is composed of connective tissues. What are the tissues? Connective tissues like bones, cartilage. It is made by bones as well as cartilage tissues. They have tendons and ligaments also. So these are the 4 different types of tissues present in our skeleton system. If the skeleton is without joints, no movements would take place, and the significance of human body will be no more than a stone. What are the examples of exoskeleton? If you take fishes, the outside to the body, we have scales, right? It has scales. That scale is the best example of exoskeleton. Take tortoise, the outside hard shell which protects the tortoise is the best example of exoskeleton. And feathers present in the birds. Okay, so these are dead cells, and it protects the organisms and prevent the organisms. It prevents the internal organs of the organisms. Endoskeleton. It is found inside the human body, and it originates from the mesoderm of the embryo. Okay, they are found in almost all the vertebrates and form the main body of the structure. Now we are going to see the functions of skeleton system. The first function is it gives shape to the body. Yes, we get shape to the body. The second one is it supports the internal organs of the body. It supports and surrounds the internal organs of the body. Calcium and phosphorus are the 2 important minerals present in the skeleton system. The body needs important regulatory functions are stored inside the bones. Next function is RBC. RBC or red blood cells are produced in the bone marrow. What is bone marrow? If you break the bone, if you see the cross section of the bone, inside a soft tissue is there, that is called as bone marrow. The bones of the skeletal system act as levers for muscular action. Yes, the bone only helping to move our muscles. Okay. Muscular movement would not be possible without tendons. Now you should know what is meant by tendons. It is a fibrous cords of tissue that attach muscles to bones. It is a band of a tissue. It attaches bone and muscles. And next you are going to see the important term ligament. What is ligament? It also a fibrous cords of tissue that attach bone to bone. Okay, 2 bones joined with the help of ligaments. What is tendons? Bone is connected with muscles. Yes, that is tendons. 2 bones are connected by ligaments. Constituents of skeleton system. Human skeleton consists of bone, cartilage and ligaments. What are the 3 important organs? Bones, cartilage and ligaments. Bones comprise the hard framework of the body. It is the hard structure. Cartilages are the supporting and connecting structures. It gives support to the bones. Okay, so it is called as cartilage. Example for cartilage is the nasal part, the front portion of the nasal part and your ear lobe. Okay, so it is very flexible because the cartilage is not a hard substance like bone. It is soft. That's why we can move. Okay, ligaments bind the bones together. What is the duty of ligament? It binds the bones together. Okay. There are different types of bones in human skeleton system. Let me see one by one. Based on the size and shape, we are going to divide into 5 types. The first one is the long bones. Okay, it is found in our arms and our legs. It is lengthy compared to other bones. That's why it is called as long bones. Next is short bones. Okay, they are found in our wrist, ankle, okay, even our backbone, vertebral column. The third bone is flat bones. The shape, if you look at the bone, it is flat. That's why it is called as flat bones. Where it forms our skull. Take our skull bone, ribs, even rib cage. Yes, ribs also flat only. And our shoulder bone. Yes, shoulder bone and hip girdle also. Hip bones also flat in shape. Fourth one is irregular bones. It is irregular in shape. It is found in spine, our vertebral column, mandible, palatine, inferior nasal concha bones, and hyoid bones. Okay, so these are the examples of irregular shaped bones. Parts of skeleton. The skeleton system is composed of bones and the related structures and that aid body movements. It is divided into two major parts, the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. Axial skeleton. The axial skeleton consists of the bones along with the axis. The bones present in the middle portion of the body, axial region of the body. Okay, that is the central line of the human body. That is axial skeleton. The axial skeleton consists of the skull, facial bones, sternum means chest bone, and ribs, then backside vertebral column. See the skull, it is a hard structure. Okay, it is a hard structure made up of small bones. It is formed by 22 bones. How many bones present in our skull? 22. So out of which 8 bones are fixed together to form the cranium. Yes, cranium. Inside the cranium only our brain is protected. How many bones are there? 8 bones are there in the cranium itself. The remaining 14 bones fuse together and together in the front portion. Okay, it forms the face. It protects our face. The only bones which has movable joint is the lower jaw in our head portion. So only movable bone is our lower jaw. Skull is placed in the top of the vertebral column. Vertebral column is running at our backside of the body. Okay, it is also called as spine. Spinal cord. The spinal cord is present inside the vertebral column. It is also called as backbone. Okay, it is the trunk region of the body. Okay, it supports to the upper part of the body. The main support given to our body is called as the vertebral column. Vertebral column is made up of individual bones called vertebrae. What is the name of the bones present in the vertebral column? Vertebrae.
Vertebral column consists of 7 cervical vertebrae, 12 thoracic vertebrae, 5 lumbar vertebrae, 5 fused sacral vertebrae in hip region, and 3 fused coccygeal vertebrae.
So vertebral column runs from the base of the skull to the hip bone forming a tube. Okay. Spinal cord passes through this hollow region of the vertebrae. It is present inside the vertebral column. So vertebrae are joined by gliding joints. What's the type of joint present in between the vertebrae? Gliding joints, which allow the body to be bent back. We can bend back, even front, even sides also, right and left, both the sides also. What are the functions of vertebral column? The first function is it protects the spinal cord. Spinal cord is the continuation of our nervous system. It is the continuation of our brain. So it is protected by a hard bone, that is vertebral column. Second one is it supports the head portion. Okay, it gives support to the head portion. It serves as an attachment for the ribs. It attaches the ribs both the sides, and it provides support and place of an attachment for the pectoral and pelvic girdle. Pectoral means shoulder girdle, pelvic means hip girdle. It gives support to shoulder girdle as well as hip girdle. Okay, it provides movement for the human skeleton. It gives movement. It helps in walking, even standing. How to stand erect, the help of our skeleton system. The main parts like lungs and our heart, these two organs are protected by the rib cage. Okay, rib cage occupies the chest region. It is the cone-shaped structure made up of 12 pairs of ribs. Pairs means right side, left side. It is called a pair. Okay, 12 pairs of ribs. The ribs are attached to the vertebrae at the back side. Back side, it is attached with the vertebrae. Front portion, it is attached with the chest bone, the sternum. Okay, first 10 pairs of ribs are attached to the breastbone. Okay, that's why they are called as attached ribs. Okay, next two pairs, the last two pairs are not attached to the sternum, the chest bone. It is floating here itself. It is stopped. Okay, there is no place to attach in the chest bone, so it is called as floating ribs. Rib cage helps to expand and contract the chest region during respiration process, during breathing. Okay, so rib cage protects the underlying lungs, heart and some parts of the liver. Appendicular skeleton contains the bones which is present in the appendages of the body. The structures that connect the appendages to the axial skeleton is called appendicular skeleton. Okay, specifically the appendicular skeleton comprises the shoulder girdle, the arms, wrist, hand bones. Okay, pelvic girdle, leg, ankle and anklets and forelimbs, all the right side as well as left side, hands, leg bones comes under this appendicular skeleton. What is shoulder bone or pectoral bones? Shoulder bone is formed by collar bone. We have collar, yes, collar bone at the front and the back side shoulder bone. Okay, it is also called as shoulder blade. It is shaped like a blade. That's why shoulder blade at the back of the collar bone. The collar bone is supported by breastbone at one end and the shoulder blade at the other end. So front portion it is supported by breastbone. Back side it is supported by shoulder blade bone. Okay. So the shoulder bone encloses a socket like cavity. So automatically here you are getting a cavity. Okay, it is also called as socket. What is the name of the cavity? Socket, which fixes the ball of the upper arm. So the upper arm bone is ended with a ball-like structure. That ball-like bone attaches, matching inside the cavity. Okay, it is easily matches with the cavity and fix firmly. Okay, so this forms a ball and socket joint. So shoulder is giving a socket like structure and the upper arm bone is ended with a ball like structure. That's why this joint is called as ball and socket joint. This girdle is also known as pectoral girdle. Pelvic bone. Pelvic bone is also called as pelvic girdle. It is made up of strong bones to balance the entire weight of the body. Because it is present in the hip region, it has to balance our weight. Pelvic girdle is formed by 5 fused vertebrae. How many vertebrae? 5 bones fused, okay, at the back. In the front side, it forms a cavity, okay, in the center portion of the front side. While reaching the front part, the thigh bones are attached to the either side. Okay, both the sides, the thigh bones are attached to the cavity present in the hip girdle. So here also you can see ball and socket joint. Let us see the arm bone. Arm bone is the upper limb. Okay, it is made up of humerus. What's the name of the upper arm bone? Humerus. Then here radius ulna. Two bones are there in this portion. Radius ulna. Okay. Here corpus, metacarpals and phalanges. Corpus, metacarpals and phalanges. These are the names of bones which is present in our finger portion. All these bones are joined by hinge joints. What's the name of the joint? Hinge joint. Okay, which allows the limb to move only in one direction. Can you move backward? It is not possible. But you can move front. Okay, so it allows, hinge joint allows the movement in one direction, not at the back side. So humerus makes up the upper arm and forearm is made up of radius and ulna. Leg bone is the lower limb. Okay, it is also called as lower limb. It is made up of femur. The thigh bone is also called as femur. Next to the femur, at the bottom of the femur, tibia, fibula are present. How radius ulna is present in this portion, likewise in the ankle region, tibia and fibula, these are the two names of the bones present in this portion under the knee. Okay, next to that, in the anklet region, you have tarsals, metatarsals and phalanges. Okay, the leg bones are made by the same hinge joint which allows the limb to move only one direction. So knee, mutti pagudi, okay, knee is covered by a cap-like structure called patella. Femur makes the thigh bone. Okay, at the bottom of the thigh bone we have tibia and fibula here in this region. Next, if you go down ankle region, it is made up of tarsals. What's the name of the bones present in the ankle region? Tarsals. In our foot region, we have metatarsals, padam. Okay, metatarsals. In the toes region, what's the name of the bones? Phalanges. What are muscles? The muscles in the body provides the movement. With the help of bones, muscles give movement. They cover the skeletal framework and also give shape to the body. Yes, beauty to the body. Muscles help to maintain body posture while sitting time, standing time or even walking time. Okay, it gives posture to the body. Most muscles are long bundles of contractile tissues. It is made by contractile tissue. Each muscle usually has two ends. What are the two ends? The fixed end and movable end. The fixed end always, it is the originating end, it is always fixed with the bone. The movable end only relax and contract and relax and gives the movement to the body. The movable end of the muscle is drawn out to form a tough structure called tendons, which is attached to the bone. Okay, when stimulated by the nerve, the muscle contracts to become shorter and thicker, and thus it pulls the bone at the movable end. So as it becomes shorter and thicker, it pulls the bone. Okay, the muscles pulls the bone. So muscles can only contract and relax, they cannot lengthen. So it can contract and relax, but it cannot lengthen. Muscles often work in pairs which work against each other. So these are called antagonistic muscles. The muscles in the upper arm control the bending and straightening of the arm. So the upper arm only, this is the main region, okay, which bends or straightens the arm. The two muscles, the biceps and triceps, are working against each other. Okay, that's why they are called as antagonistic muscles. Antagonistic muscles has two muscles, that is biceps and triceps. When the biceps contract, the lower arm is raised. When it contracts, the lower arm is raised and the arm bends. That's why this arm is bending. Okay. In this position, what about the position of tricep muscles? The tricep muscles are relaxed. When it contracts, the tricep is relaxed. To straighten the arm, the reverse happenings. The reverse action is happens. The tricep contracts, straightening the arm, while the biceps relaxes. So antagonistic muscles can be found all over the body, not only in hands. It is present in all our body parts. In the iris of the eye, there are two sets of muscles. Iris means this portion. Okay, there are two sets of muscles. They are radial muscles and radiate from the pupil like spokes of a bicycle. And there are circular muscles also. So radial muscles are like spokes. And here, in a round, circular muscles are present in the, it is present in round shape. Okay. So the radial muscles make the pupil of the eye wider. So radial muscles helps to keep the lens wider. Okay. While the circular muscles make the pupil smaller. So to keep smaller, circular muscles are helping. To keep wider, the radial muscles are helping. Muscles found in higher vertebrates are of three types. Striated muscles, it is also called as skeletal muscles or voluntary muscles. Second one is non-striated muscles or involuntary muscles. The third one is cardiac muscles. You have a detail. The question is write a short note on different types of muscles. You are going to present different types of muscles in a tabular column. Okay. See, there are three types of muscles: striated, skeletal, voluntary muscle. All the three refers the first type of muscle. The second type of muscle is non-striated muscle. It is also called as smooth muscle or involuntary muscle. Okay. The third type is cardiac muscle. Now see the location of striated or skeletal or voluntary muscle. It is attached to bones found in arms, legs, neck. These are the main portions. And what is the characteristic feature? Multinucleate. Okay, many nuclei are scattered here and there. Unbranched and voluntary muscle. Okay, there is no branches. Now come to second one, non-striated or smooth muscle. It is attached to soft parts of the body like blood vessels, iris, bronchi and the skin. Okay, all soft parts only it is present. The character is single central nucleus and involuntary muscle. Now the third one, cardiac muscle. It is present only in heart. What is the characteristic feature? It is branched. Okay, like striated muscle, it is branched. 1 to 3 central nuclei are present. It is involuntary like non-striated muscle. So the cardiac muscles have both the characters of striated as well as non-striated muscles. How the muscles coordinate each other? Okay, most action in our body like standing, walking, running, playing tennis or whatever game, okay, all requires combined actions of several muscles. Many muscles want to work together, okay. So to a great extent, the muscles have to be coordinated for a particular kind of movement. Muscles move body parts by contracting and then relaxing. So contraction and relaxation, these are the two main processes present in muscles for the movement. Muscles can pull bones. Okay, it can pull the bones. but they cannot push the bone. They don't know to push the bone. They know only to pull the bones. Okay, and again that side muscles pull the bone and keep the bones in the same place. It keeps in the same place. So they work in pairs of flexors and extensors. Okay. So what is flexors and extensors? The flexors contracts to bend a limb at a joint. Okay. It contract the muscles. Okay. It helps to contract the muscles. Then when the movement is completed, the flexor relaxes and the extensor contracts to extend and relaxes the straightening the limbs, okay, at the same joint. So example, the bicep muscles and the tricep muscles present in our arm bone. The bicep muscle in the front of the upper arm is a flexor. So the front portion is flexor and the triceps is present at the back side of the upper arm. So this is acting like an extensor. Okay. So when you bend your elbow, the bicep contracts. At the same time, the tricep relaxes. Okay. Now understand. So likewise, both are helping to move the portion. Okay, to move the bone. This portion, your hand. In this lesson, first we learnt about the differentiation between movement and locomotion. What is movement? Movement refers to change in position of the part of an organism's body. What is locomotion? Movements of organisms from place to place is called locomotion. Next we learnt movements in many animals. First earthworm, cockroach, birds, snake, fish. In fish you have a choose, that is, why do underwater divers wear fin-like flippers on their feet? The answer is to swim easily in water. Why they have to swim easily in the water? We saw the different types of movements: amoeboid movement, ciliary movement, muscular movement. What are the three movements? Amoeboid, ciliary, muscular movements. Next, we learnt about joint. Here you have three types of joints: fixed joint or immovable joint, slightly movable joint. The third one is freely movable joint. Under this, 6 subheadings are there. You have a very short answer. Why our backbone is slightly movable? In the backbone, vertebrae are joined by gliding points which allow the body to be bent back, front or sidewards. Dash joints are immovable in our face, upper jaw and skull, right? So this is the choose for you. Next we learnt about synovial joints. You have a diagram for this joint. After this we learnt about skeleton system. Here exoskeleton, endoskeleton. Then next we saw the functions of skeleton. There we saw 5 points. After the functions, we learnt about the constituents of skeleton, how it is differentiated, classified into different types of bones. For example, long bone, short bone, flat bone, irregular bones. So 4 different types we learnt in this constitution. After this, we learnt about the parts of skeleton. Here you have a flow chart. Draw a flow chart for skeleton. Skeleton, axial skeleton, appendicular skeleton. Under axial skeleton, skull, ribs and sternum, vertebral column. Under appendicular skeleton, pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. See the 6th question. What are the functions of skeleton in human body? The skeleton system serves the following functions. First, it provides structure and shape to the body. It supports the internal organs of the body. Calcium and phosphorus stored inside the bones. Red blood cells are produced in the bone marrow. You have a detail. Write about the human axial skeleton. Under this, you have skull. You are going to read about vertebral column. Next, sternum or rib cage. Yes, everything comes under this second detail. Next to axial skeleton, we learnt appendicular skeleton. Here, shoulder bone or pectoral bones comes under this. Next to this, pelvic bones. Yes, it is present in
hip girdle. And we learnt arm bones, leg bones also, and their names also. Next, we learnt about muscles. What are the three types of muscles? Here also you have a detail. You are going to present the detail in tabular column. What are the three types? Striated, unstriated, cardiac muscles. These are the three types. You have a distinguish between voluntary muscle and involuntary muscle. Voluntary muscle, they are striated muscle. Involuntary muscle, they are non-striated muscle. Voluntary are attached to bones. Involuntary are attached to soft parts of the body like blood vessels, iris, etc. They are used as per our will. Which one? Voluntary muscles. But involuntary muscles, they are not under our control. At last, in this lesson, we learnt about the coordination of muscles. Here you have a true or false. The flexor and extensor muscles of the arm are antagonistic muscles. The answer is true. One more true or false. Cardiac muscle is a voluntary muscle. The answer is false. Why? The correct statement is cardiac muscle is an involuntary muscle.
Yes, children, Unit 19, Movements in Animals. Lesson is over. Study well. Thank you.